It goes back further to, strip that stuff away. What's the base skeleton?
Right. But I mean, let's look at martial arts. Let's look at it from that perspective. I mean, you've got the debate of kata, no kata, this, that, the other thing. Oh well, that person's a side person and he does this, or this person's an Aku guy, or this person's a Tanbo guy, or whatever. Well, get them out of that box. What can you do with it? How does it interrelate? How does it make your technique better? How does it make the knowledge that you know better? Things like that. I think we're so quick to put things in a box as opposed to actually seeing what you can do with it. If that makes sense.
No, that's perfect sense. I feel like this is kind of the issue where it's like you explain it 7 different ways, and everyone will be like, I'll get it. But just how it goes. This is where I think people who understand that perspective, especially in the martial arts, because I've seen this happen, where people explain this and their students go, yes, I understand, sensei, and they'll kind of parrot the points that they make. And then those people will go off and start schools and parrot those points, and then their students will parrot those points. But the point that was being made was not acted upon, was not really understood or understood in a way that would be any way practical or meaningful. Like an example is like kata analysis and breaking down the kata. You need to understand the kata. What do you mean? Well, I understand the kata. What kind of stance I'm supposed to be in? Okay, no. The sequence, like no, you need to understand how to practically use this. Well, what do you mean practically use this? You need to understand the bunkai. Okay, well, understand the bunkai. Yeah. You need to practice it. All right, you practice it. Okay, practice the bunkai. Oh, you need to put it in a practical situation. Well, what kind of practical situation? Well, you need to get your shoes on the floor. All right, put my shoes on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of goes in that direction. You know what I mean? And
right.
Without trying to they haven't turned the keys on the ignition of the student's ability to look into it themselves, and even with the best intentions of going into doing the practical side of things and whatnot with kata.
Yeah,
it's supposedly a flavor of the week type deal nowadays, which is like has always been the case. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean that can be very difficult to do that. I mean, I have not been on certain things where other people have. I mean, in a past life, I guess. I mean, it feels like it's been a past life. It's been so long ago, but I mean, there was a time where I was, I worked security / as basically a bouncer for an organization for a while. And guess what? I got to see what worked. I got to see what didn't work. I got to see what got me out of more situations than what didn't. I mean, that definitely played into my training. And it was good. That was a good thing. Because I can bring that to the table as somewhat of a practical lesson. Now, I have not had the training, I haven't had the experience like someone who's in the police department, things like that, where they use it every day for years and years and years and years and years. I have done it for 2, 3, 4 years. I can't even remember now.
Well, and then that goes into we're talking about distorted perspectives as kind of by proxy experience.
Yeah.
Or vicarious experience.
Yeah.
Right? So an example would be, my teacher's a cop. My teacher was in the military. My teacher was in the FBI. My teacher trained with the Green Beret. My teacher, was in, the Marines. My teacher was in the Air Force. XYZ. That's fine. Your teacher was in that so they participated in an activity where their martial arts was a relevant part of their profession. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with a guy who works at Quick Stop or Circle K or as a computer programmer or XYZ. Like, you can't vicariously gain that experience from what that person teaches you. Now, you can
Right.
gain lessons from what's learned on the floor and what's
Right.
kind of there, but the distorted perspective of rank, but can also be the distorted perspective of, well, my teacher said this and he's a XYZ, ergo I'm completely justified in everything that I do.
Well, maybe.
But I've seen this happen where people will use that as a justification to train and or not train,
Right.
or
Or to bring home a point, or or to back something up. And I think it gets, I think it definitely does get distorted from time to time. And I don't think it's just martial arts that's experiencing it. I think it's,
I don't know, it's completely false argumentatively, right? You don't have those experiences that person does.
right. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I know certain people that, a long time ago, they, to really build up their fighting skills, they would go out on Saturday night and get a handful of, get a little bit of liquid courage, and then go start a fight with somebody just to build up their fighting capabilities.
Yeah.
Me, that's not me. I now, would I want to mess with these people? No, absolutely not, because the experience that they've got is probably, I'd say, second to none in that arena. But what did it really teach them? Is that something that I want to learn? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. At this stage of my life, I can honestly say that's something I don't want to learn, period.
Well, and then how does that translate onto the floor, even? Like, how does that translate? Does that person understand? They might understand how to engage in, like a bar brawl with Guy,
Yeah.
or multiple guys, or whatever. But they might not understand. Like, they might not understand that from an implicit perspective or a instinctual perspective, right?
Right.
They might not have any of the tools to explain this or to teach this in any meaningful way. And especially because kind of how karate's